These are two different editing accounts. Let's label them as Red and Blue. Red over here started first. He was making insane edits using softwares like Adobe After Effects and DaVinci. And as great as those were, he was only posting a couple times a month since it took him hours on end to make. Red would also just edit whatever he pleased to, but the editing style was insane and consistent, so what's wrong with that? On the other hand, Blue started a month after Red. He enjoyed watching a lot of viral edits, even tried to make some of his own, and after watching a few tutorials, he got it down. Blue was pretty bad in the start, but started posting almost every day and tried different styles that were trending. Till Blue found a style that he enjoyed and stuck to it, while still consistently participating in trends. But at the end of the day, his edits did seem pretty low effort and really didn't have much going on in them. That didn't shake Blue too much, so he just loved making them and kept going with it. Now let's skip to about 6 months later. Who would you assume had a more successful account? Red, the very high quality editor who made insane edits a few times a month? Or Blue, the crappy editor who posted more edits and trends more often? Now if you guessed Red, you're actually wrong. After 6 months, Blue actually had 10k followers, had 10 videos to get over 100k views, 3 that got over 1 million. Red, on the other hand, he had only 2 videos get over 10,000 views and nearly had 2k followers. Why is this? Why did that low effort editor get so much more views than the editor who was spending 10 to 20 hours on every edit? It's simple. TikTok just likes bad editors. Jokes aside, there's actual science and facts to back up why this happens. This has to be the biggest complaint in the editing space. And no, it's not because TikTok likes bad editors. It's actually so much more simpler than that. You're making edits for people. Normal people. Most editors don't realize that. Adding effects on top of effects on top of effects. I mean, don't get me wrong, from an editor's perspective, it looks awesome. But to the average person, there's just way too much going on for them to really get something out of it other than, you know, motion sickness. You have to understand that you're making edits for people to watch. Meaning you have to, well, actually give the edit meaning. You either do that by giving the edit a story or making it express an emotion. There is so much different ways you can do this. Like this could be happiness by making an edit that's wholesome, or anger by making an edit that's controversial, or even like a badass edit of a character, which gives the viewer that rush of adrenaline. I'm gonna get more into the psychology of going viral in a minute, but let's actually understand how the big bad algorithm works. I just don't understand why, but editors stress more about how they post than the actual edit. What time do I post? What glitch is gonna give me 50 million views? You're not making videos for an algorithm. You're making them for people. What you need to understand instead is if your edit actually hooks in the viewers, uses a familiar or viral style and audio, and actually looks clean and smooth. Because if you somehow manage to nail all of these down to the perfection, it's gonna go viral whether you post it at 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 0 hashtags, or 15. That's why the world of posting hacks were just invented by bad editors, which they completely go all in and believe instead of trying to make actual better content. Now, does this mean you shouldn't care at all about the algorithm? I mean, of course not. There are still certain fundamentals that you would want to optimize. For example, being your posting time and hashtags. I know I just made an example clowning on that, but if you max that out, you have a really good chance at boosting your views. But your main focus should be making an edit that people want to actually watch. Now, like I said, we're gonna get into the psychology of that later, but here are 2 simple hacks that I think are the most important to juice out all the views from the algorithm. First one would be posting time. You have to understand that there's no universal best time to post because everybody's audience is different. So how do you find out the best time for your audience? Go to TikTok analytics, audience panel, and then check the days of the week and the hours of the day your followers are the most active. Then figure out a way to post on your viewers' most active days and a couple hours before your followers' most active hour of the day. And it's better to post a couple hours before the peak just so your video will still kind of be fresh but like not too new, so it'll still get recommended. I don't know, this is just what I do. Not only will you get more consistent views by sticking to a schedule, but you'll also be a more organized editor yourself. Number 2, hashtags. There is no perfect amount of hashtags you should use. People go viral with a lot and people go viral with barely any. But here's the easiest way to understand hashtags. Imagine the algorithm is a grocery store. Every time that you like a video, watch till the end, or interact in any way really, its hashtags will fall into your shopping cart. Then when you scroll, the algorithm will look at your shopping cart and say, oh, you like this stuff? And then it'll recommend you more videos with similar hashtags. And that's really it. Hashtags just help guide the system. That's great to know, but that doesn't specify how much hashtags you should use. But my best advice is just to copy what's already working within your niche. Meaning, just copy the amount of hashtags other people in your space are doing. For example, if you're making basketball edits, every time you see a viral basketball edit, go down to the hashtags and take a screenshot of it. I'd recommend to get 5 to 10 different screenshots of different edits and note the hashtags you see the most. From there, you can either copy the formats they use or twist it around. Honestly, just experiment with it. Another thing I would like to mention is to stop posting 100 different kinds of content. If you want to go viral, you have to stay consistent. That doesn't just mean posting consistently, but actually making consistent content. Make make your account dedicated to one concept. That could be only football edits or Marvel edits, or even get more specific down to a single character. Like in my case, my accounts are mainly around the Reverse Flash and the CW Flash show, and I really have not posted anything other than that. Now, if you're trying to get views, I am so against multi-fandoms because they're so inconsistent, but the only exception would be is if you're editing shows and movies that are currently trending. I mean, #1 searched on Google trending, because at that case, you're not really a multi-fandom. Your account is just about trending edits and trending shows, which inevitably becomes your niche. But although the reach for these accounts are crazy, the biggest downside is if you're editing something that you just don't enjoy but gets you views, you will just be on the route for a burnout. And I don't think anybody wants to go down there. I would personally tell you that I would find this type of account very hard to manage, because I'm the type of person who will obsess over one specific thing instead of being a little bit into everything. So my exception to multi-fandom accounts would be if you're really just trying to edit for fun. But other than that, if you're posting a random thing with every single post, don't expect a million views on every one. Has to be the biggest thing editors overlook. You need to understand the science behind why somebody stops scrolling, why they'd watch a full edit, and then also find a way to get them to rewatch it. If you can nail all three of those, then you simply have a viral edit. Let's start with your hook. It's the first 3 seconds of an edit, where's the biggest moment where your viewer will decide if they want to watch it or just keep scrolling. Every single frame in these 3 seconds is going to be the most important. So what you'd want to do is just get into the edit right away. For example, if it's a film edit, then get right to the point instantly. Either that's showing a character do something, getting punched, or just getting to the dialogue right away. Another little thing I use on one of my most viral edits is adding this little basic white flash screen, which will trigger to the viewer that this is obviously an edit, which often stops a lot of viewers. I mean, I've used it on one of my most viral edits, and you could see how that performed. But if anything, just stay away from those 10-second long black screen intros, please. Now that you have your viewers hooked, you need to make sure your edit is engaging enough so that the viewer will actually want to stay and watch it. Some of the best ways to do this is obviously choose a familiar and satisfying song in the background. Depending on what style you're doing, just make sure it's consistent. For example, if it's just a normal edit with clips, make sure you choose actual good, unique clips, and that they're on beat and in the end come off as satisfying. And maybe even go the extra mile to add some voiceovers. But overall, you'd always want to keep your viewer engaged and entertained. Now that your viewer has watched till the end of the video, if you can get them to somehow re-watch it, that will be your key to going viral, because your engagement will just shoot up. One of the ways to do so is maybe add something out of pocket in the end, or maybe even just a plot twist, which will then change the viewer's perspective of the beginning edit and will make them re-watch it. Or you can just get to the point fast and make it super satisfying enough, and almost make it feel like the video ended too early, so the viewer will go all in on that feeling and give it another watch. And when trying to optimize for retention, please avoid repeating your edit. Unless your edit is literally 4 seconds long, if you're repeating your edit, you're basically letting your viewer re-watch it without actually getting the extra engagement. So at that point, you're really just trying to make that edit a flop. Also, another really good bonus would be is if you have an intro to your edit that's a clip, instead of adding a black screen at the end of your edit when it's finished, add that intro clip to the end, but go to it right before the intro starts. And then have it slowly fade in, which obviously will catch the viewer off guard. They'll be like, wait, I thought the edit is done. What is this? If this is done correctly, it should loop the edit. But let me know in the comments if you want a separate tutorial on that. There are 2 main things that actually determines if an edit is good. Good ideas and good editing. If you get either one down, you'll have a really decent chance of being viewed. But find a way to put both together and you'll have a viral video twice a week. To get good ideas, it's simple. Either just watch and consume so much edit, then draw inspiration and even recreate some new trends, or do the complete opposite by making yourself bored to death for a few hours every day. Which basically means go outside. And that is when you'll get all the best ideas. Trust me, I in my TikTok prime would stare at a wall for 3 hours. But trust me, once that edit idea light bulb goes off in your head and you think it may have potential but you're not just too sure, I don't care how bad it may sound, just write it down immediately, because all that matters is it's actually unique. And maybe you just need a fresh pair of eyes later on to look at it, and then you might come up with something even better. Because let me tell you, that might just be the backstory to your first viral hit. Then outside of ideas, the other way to have viral edits is to actually have good editing. To make good edits, you have to, well, obviously get good, which either means using better software or actually learning new things. If you have bad, uncalled for quality on an edit that's supposed to feel premium, then well, you're gonna flop hard. But thankfully, there's a lot of fixes to this, like using good color corrections and upscaling softwares like Topaz. But if you don't have any good color corrections, you can get the same ones that I use in my edits in the pinned comment. Another way you can improve your edits is by using some cool 3D elements. I'm personally mind blown when I see those edits that look normal at first, then all of a sudden has this clean 3D stuff popping in. I can tell you I've tried doing this years ago when I knew nothing about 3D, and it came out terrible. But luckily for you, now there's so much better options. So if you're in that same spot, I can tell you this is the tool I wish I had back then. That tool is Triple AI, which is crazy to me because it only takes a few minutes to generate, instead of having to go all out and learn a software like Blender that could take days to weeks to even months. For this edit I was just working on, I needed a 3D reverse flash emblem, so I just dropped in a reference PNG picture off of Google. Then Triple gave me the option to choose between single image generation mode or multi-view mode. Single image generation mode is the best for having quick and faster generations, but multi-view on the other hand, although it takes a little longer, is much more detailed, and in my opinion will work the best for something like this, especially after you take that HD feature to increase the quality of the generations even more. Then once it's generated, if something needs a fix, I just have to type it into this box, which pops up after I click on this box with the reference photo, ask it to change it to my liking, and shortly after the model will generate and Triple gives you this new model added with all the changes that you need. Honestly, for something that took a couple minutes to generate, this is fire. They also offer auto rigging with over 100 preset animations. You can go from upload image, T-pose, to auto rig to apply animation, and just like that, super easy. But once I was happy with my reverse flash emblem, I then had to add the color. So I went to the texture tab and let it generate the suggested coloring it had taken off of the photo, and then gave me the sweet metallic red look, which honestly I think looks fire. I downloaded it as an OBJ file and imported it into After Effects 2025 since it now supports direct 3D. Then I adjusted it to my liking to fit the edit, and hey, off the spot this looks so much more better than the last time I tried to use a 3D object in my edit. You can use my invite link in the description and pinned comment for an extra 500 credits, as well as my discount code for 60% off of your first month of Pro. Since Triple has also hooked me up with a free account for one of you, you can join my Discord server in the description and enter the giveaway there. Thanks Triple for sponsoring this video, and I will definitely be using this in the future. And honestly, even if they didn't sponsor this video, this would still definitely be a tool I would use and recommend. I have just poured out all the sauce I know about going viral. It's now your turn to up your game. I actually did do a challenge exactly like that, of going viral on a brand new account to prove that it's not luck. So I'll actually put that right up here so you can watch it next. If you enjoy this content, do consider subscribing, since I do plan on making more, and comment below what you want to see next.